Hello, I'm QnA, and this is QnA Saturday, the sometimes weekly series around on my channel around to your questions that have been asked over the past week or so across the last week's QnA Saturday video. This is a fun once-a-week opportunity for me to answer your biggest questions about life, the universe, and of course Minecraft updates. But today, just to be entirely transparent with you, most of these questions are about myself and so on and so forth. So if you want to get to know Toycat a little bit better, this is the video for you. But if you don't, I won't force you to watch a video you don't like. I mean, I literally can't. But I just wanted to let you know that before we dive into this, because there's a lot of questions relating to stuff like the fire incident and whatnot that I wanted to dive into and discuss. But first, let's move into the first question, which comes in from Old Granny Athlete, which nice name by the way. QnA, why are you growing out your beard? It makes you look like Shaggy, and I'm not sure that's a good thing. I saw a whole bunch of comments on it on last week's QnA Saturday video. People being like, man, what is that beard? Or like, I don't like the beard, or like, oh, that's an interesting beard. So yeah, what's the deal with it? So just to explain what was happening there, because I have now shaved it. It's gone forever. Basically, I have this issue where I don't grow a beard at the normal rate that most people do. And although that's beneficial because it means I don't have to shave as much, it's awful because it means that like if I ever want to have a beard, and I think beards are especially popular these days, it just won't happen. So a lot of people said, well, the trick to growing a beard is just to do nothing for a very long time. And given that January was the month where I was going to be away for a couple of weeks, I was like, okay, this is going to be the month where we give it a try, and it just kind of didn't work, sadly. So yeah, the beard story is that I tried my best to have a beard, and sadly, despite a month of effort, a month of doing nothing, it still didn't magically come to me. So sad face, I guess. Toycat and a beard is just an impossible combo you can't come back to. But let's move on to the second question, which comes in from the Mario Maniac, who everyone seems to know from the comment sections of the videos on this channel. But he says, going back to your latest video, why were you set on fire before? So yeah, in my awful Minecraft merch video, I mentioned at the end as I'm setting the awful Minecraft hoodie on fire, something like, have you ever been set on fire before? Because I haven't, it's not very fun. I said something like that, and I figured I might as well explain this story. So just before I do this, I need to clarify, like, do not do anything I did. This is a story of something bad that happened, not something good, and therefore you shouldn't do it. However, just to explain it, because it really is ridiculous, and it's a lesson to learn from as to, like, don't be an idiot, like, teenager or whatever. But basically, when I was literally, like, 13 or 14, I made a new friend just as I came to a new school, and, the new friend was kind of interesting. It was a bit of a psychopathic, I would say, but it was an interesting enough friend. Like, we had similar interests, it seemed, like games, etc. And one of the things that he's learned from, like, his older brother, who's, like, one of those dodgy people trying to teach you everything, is, like, oh, if you put, I think it's lighter fluid in your hand and then light it on fire, you can have like something that looks like you're like spewing flames from your hands, and it doesn't even hurt. Again, don't do this. It does actually hurt after some number of seconds, but it means you can look like you're this magic deity that has like fire coming out of your hands. And he's like, you gotta try this. And I was like, wow, that kind of is actually quite cool. And then we realized like you could do that anywhere, right? So then I do it on my arm, and it's like, oh man, you can have your whole body be on fire. You can be like the Human Torch. Side note, again, terrible idea. You do not want to be on fire. There's a lot of reasons why when you think about your whole body being on fire, it's not pleasant. But yeah, so I covered my arm, all of it on the left side. To this day, I still have pretty horrific or noticeable scars from this. They're only just starting to fade to this day. But basically, I was like, okay, I'll light my entire arm on fire. And by itself, that might be okay. You don't have as much shaking to get, like the fire off your arm, but like it's fine. But then I was like, it'd be even cooler than just lighting your arm on fire. I was like, pass me the deodorant can, and then used a common schoolboy technique of fire, using that as like a flamethrower, because if you put deodorant on a flame, it makes it even bigger. And basically, I used my arm as a human flamethrower, and it was the coolest thing for literally 2 seconds maybe. But then you realize that although having a flamethrower attached to your arm is super cool, having flames attached to your arm is not super cool. So I try, it starts to get like hot really fast all of a sudden, because again, I'm literally using my arm as a flamethrower at this point. And then I'm like, okay, I need to stop this, get this out real fast. And my instinct is to shake it off, but again, you just don't have enough movement to shake your forearm up and down. So I'm doing it, and I'm like, it's like seriously burning me as I'm there, like trying to get the flame out. I remember my friend was just there, like he was, laughing as I'm there, like in serious, like can't get this going out kind of thing. And although it was probably all of about 5 seconds of like from where it started to hurt to when I got the fire out, 5 seconds of having fire hurt you is a long time. So yeah, I had my entire arm on fire at one point, and it was all because of me being a little bit stupid. And that's when I learned that pro tip, don't light yourself on fire. So yeah, in case you're curious as to the whole story of like why have you been on fire before, I set myself on fire, and again, the amount of like pain and stress and like my mother eventually saw it and was like, what are those horrific little things? And I was like, I you know, it's a normal thing. You sometimes light yourself on fire. Common issue, common schoolboy prank. But no, it's not. Pro tip, don't set yourself on fire. And also, I've always wondered, like, is it a good thing to, like, tell stories of, like, things you did horribly wrong? Because I feel like 99% of you are going to learn from that and be like, whoa, yeah, I'm not going to light myself on fire. That's really stupid. But I feel like I'm always worried, like, what about the 1% who's like, wait, you can use your arm as a flamethrower? And I'm kind of worried someone will do that. So don't do that. This is my last clarification before we move on to the next question, which is not about setting myself on fire, but is instead about ourselves as the Minecraft community collectively setting ourselves on fire because we didn't vote for the Savannah biome at Minecon Earth last year. We had one job, guys. Come on. Anyway, so Swimmable Tech 6 asks, hey Toycat, if we get to pick biomes again for next Minecon Earth, what biomes do you think we'll be allowed to pick? So given that we had a mob vote at the Minecon Earth before that, and we had a biome vote at last year's Minecon Earth, I have to imagine the next year's thing, assuming they've implemented the Savannah at some point, they've implemented, you know, the other one at some point, the desert update, I have to imagine it won't be biomes, it won't be mobs, it'll be something else entirely. It'll be something like, which new weapon would you like to add to the game? Which new ore would you like to add to the game? Which new, you could even do like dimension or something absurd if you want to go next level and make people really decide stuff. But yeah, I after the last two votes, you know, we've got the Phantom, we've got the Tiger. I'm just saying, people should not be trusted to vote anymore. I just don't trust the majority vote at this stage, but maybe I'm just being pessimistic. But anyway, with that said, we're going to move on to the next question, which comes in from Haunt Nog, who says, what is the most repetitive question you have gotten? E.g., can I be mod? That's an example. I don't want to be mod. Hey, well, you've already disqualified yourselves anyway, because as you know, number one rule of being a mod is not to ask for mod. But no, to be serious about this one, so on streams, there are two questions that show up more than anything else, and it drives me crazy when I'm not like properly prepared to deal with it. And those two questions are, can I be a moderator? And is he even reading the questions? Toycat, read my message or something. And it's like, no, I don't read every single message. Otherwise, the stream is just me reading out the stream of things. And obviously, everyone who appreciates that it's a collective experience understands that's what a live stream is. But some people somehow get to like this age, you know, what? Even if it's like super young, like 6, somehow 1. Probably young to watch live streams, but like 2, how do you get to that age and not develop the idea of other people exist and this is like a thing, other people are there, and just because, you know, like me personally isn't being in a thing, I don't know, it drives me crazy when people say stuff like that. But on YouTube videos, and QnA Saturday in particular, the most repetitive question used to be when a shield's coming, but now that shields have come to Bedrock, at least in betas, they're coming out fairly soon, that'll be big. That means that now the most common questions are stuff like background gameplay, why are you doing what you're doing in the background? And it's like, well, by next QnA Saturday will be different gameplay, so usually can't respond to those. Or like, you know, like I get a lot of duplicate questions, and I would say it's frustrating, but it's like, okay, if you haven't read all the comment sections of QnA Saturday, that's fine. It's just you can't expect them to be answered at the same time. So yeah, what's the most repetitive questions? I get a lot of them, and for some reason, just me as a YouTuber, one of the things I hate is repeating an answer. I really would like it if every single, the thing I dream of in YouTube, and maybe this is too lofty a goal to ask for, is like every day to do something that's not exactly the same as the day before. I like to do something bigger and better. Even the repetitive projects, at least you're making some progress on them. But when I get the same question, it's like deja vu. I'm just doing the same thing, copy pasting, repeating myself. It's not fun, and I don't think it's great for repeat viewers either. So it's something that I try my best not to do, and it's something that, like, for me in particular, really activates this weak spot in my brain. So maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. But you know what also makes me crazy? Not doing more non-Minecraft streams, like Tilt Mill suggests, who says, are you going to be doing more non-Minecraft streams in the future? Really enjoyed your Portal 2 playthrough. So, interestingly enough, I actually intend to do that, mostly because now Nintendo has lifted their ban on playing their games on YouTube, because every single Tuesday, I used to try and do a brand new, different game every Tuesday. Thursdays, the Minecraft stream, Tuesdays, the non-Minecraft stream, but that got kind of limited when, you know, like, most of the Nintendo games are out of my reach, and, you know, I do a bunch of Fortnite, I do a bunch of, you know, I think PUBG, even in there, I've been doing some Apex Legends. But as far as will I be doing more non-Minecraft streams? Heck yeah, I want to play through a bunch of games, probably a lot of nostalgia games, like wouldn't it be fun to do another Portal playthrough? I really, though, the things I want to focus on maybe for next Tuesday would be to start up Super Mario Sunshine or something, like more games from the childhood that are just super fun. So that's something that you might see on the channel, like Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Odyssey are the two biggest contenders for next Tuesday, what we might just be doing. And yeah, also I intend to do a whole bunch more of these. Now we have the Nintendo catalog actually open to us. It's gonna be kind of great, because even Super Mario Bros. 1, it's a game I played forever ago. I thought it'd be fun to go back to like the game that started it all. That got copyright claimed by Nintendo back in the day. They've released the claim now, and it means, I know, it's so much more fun having like more options available, because previously it was like, oh yeah, you can play, I don't know, the newest game that you're into, and you can play Minecraft, and then if you want to play any of the classics, well, guess what? Nintendo's going to copy strike you, and they're going to take your $18 or whatever, because Nintendo needs that $18 more than you, the individual, do. I know, it's crazy to me, but I'm glad it's fixed, and I'm super excited to do more of that. Even playing games like Super Bomberman Art, which is now free to download. I loved Bomberman as a kid, so I'll play the newer version. Probably on stream tomorrow, if I'm being entirely honest. I want to do a bunch more stream stuff. It's a lot of fun, and looking forward to doing that. So, with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from Multi-Super Gamer Person, who says, not a question, but more of a tip. On Xbox, instead of clicking and dragging an item out of your inventory to drop it, instead click the item and press Y to drop the item. It's a way faster thing to do. And honestly, this is one of those things that I wish there was a button to do what he was describing, like immediately drop something from your inventory, because on, Java Edition and on even just Windows 10, you press Q, the item drop button, and you can drop something immediately. On Xbox, that doesn't work, like pressing V once you picked up an item doesn't, but apparently, I tested it just after he said this, if you press A and then you press Y, you can instantly drop stacks. Oh my god, I don't know why those are the controls, that doesn't logically make sense to me, that wasn't possible on the Xbox One edition, but on Minecraft Bedrock, only when using the controller commands, the drop button does not drop things, instead the auto switch button does. I don't know why that works that way, but I'm so grateful for Multi-Super Gamer Person for letting me know this. It's not really a question, it's just a tip that I found useful. So pro tips at Toycat, I'm still learning things about the Bedrock engine as it turns out, and it's super cool when you learn something that really makes your life that much easier. But speaking of things that make my life easier, let's talk to Gamer Games, because I have something that's the opposite of that, because he says, do you check your subreddit outside of videos? And I do check my subreddits, actually, outside of videos, but there's this real issue where for some reason, I have two separate subreddits, because I have two channels, and they kind of have like different, like I would say, both audiences, but also in terms of like the discussion that makes sense. So I have reddit.com/r/toycat for the second channel, and reddit.com/r/ibxtoycat for this channel. I never reference the other subreddit anywhere outside of the wrong channel, but for some reason, every single, like no matter how much I remove posts, no matter how much I try to fix things, no matter how clear I try to make it, people always post things from the wrong subreddit to the other one, and I don't know why. It's like that thing from before where it just hits that soft spot in my head where it's like, I'm trying to read things about this and I'm finding things about that. Like, people just don't know that like two separate subreddits must mean that they're both for the same stuff. I don't know how to inform people that like, hey, this is a subreddit for this and this is a subreddit for that, but yeah, it's been driving me crazy very, very slowly. I do check the subreddit sometimes, but it seems as though, because people are posting across both of them, one of the subreddits is taken over by people like spamming the same thing every day, and it's not necessarily so funny for me, and one of the subreddits is like, wait, what is this? It's a whole mixed up mess. So yeah, I need to fix that somehow. I have no idea how, and in the meantime, it's just easier not to, but I do try to check it. It's just when I do check it, I'm like, oh, I need to, this is a thing that is broken and needs to be fixed. But with that said, let's speak about more things that need to be broken and need to be fixed, which doesn't include Fire3014's question, which is garlic bread. And to respond to this, yes, exactly. So let's move into the final question, which is going to come in from JBlitz15, who says, has your sleeping capability improved? Or have your sleeping capabilities improved? Which is technically a very slightly question, but it has the same meaning. Anyway, so have I gotten better at sleeping? Because last week I was a little bit loopy, I would say. Like, I wasn't sleeping correctly. It was like, it was 4 p.m., but I was feeling like I needed to sleep right then. That's why I looked at the rainbow and was so distracted by that. But the happy answer to this question is yes, most I'm now sleeping like actual hours in a night that actually reflect the UK's time zone, but I need to now like readjust them again, which is going to hurt over to Japan's time zone, because again, it's like less than 3 weeks till I go there, so I need to adjust my sleep schedule way back. Like, I need to start, right now I wake up about 8:30 or something. I need to start waking up ideally like 2:30 or something, but realistically, so I don't ruin my life even more, something like 5 a.m. or something. So I need to like move my sleep 3.5 hours back and be comfortable and do enough work in a day to actually make this YouTube channel run. It's gonna be tricky, but I think I'm gonna try my best to do it slowly so I don't break myself. So yeah, I fixed my sleep now, but I need to break it again, and I just need to hope that I fix it very soon after I break it again. It's a whole nightmare. This is honestly the worst bit of travel in some extent. Like, I love every single part, like even flying to a place is amazing. I love airports. I love being in new places and learning new things and seeing new cultures. I love every single part of travel, but the jet lag, I don't know, like right now, it's hitting me worse and worse every time. It's like it's snacking, that every time I've jet lagged, it's breaking my brain a little bit more. So yeah, I'm trying to pre-jet lag myself for Japan, and we'll see how well that goes. probably not very well. You'll probably see some weird 5 a.m. streams or something out there, which is good if you live in a time zone that's not the UK's. And if you don't, then I hope you all enjoyed today's video regardless. I'm about to go out. I'm actually meeting a YouTuber who's here for VidCon London. He edits some of the second channel videos. And I kind of like showing people around, or like explaining London, showing people around London. So I'm about to do that. But if I never come back, then that means that he has officially murdered me and someone should call the police. So yeah, if I'm not here in like the next week, if there's a son lacking videos, then assume that I have died and I don't know, someone call the Metropolitan Police. I'm not even sure, but hopefully I'm not dead. Hopefully this video is something you enjoyed. Hopefully you enjoyed learning a little bit more about me, and in case you didn't, I guess sorry for watching this video. Maybe you'll like one of the ones that's about to appear on screen. Maybe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.